Joining me now is national security analyst and chairwoman of the actforamerica.org, Brizette Gabriel. Brizette, always great to see you. I just wanted to get your thoughts here because I just think too often we reflexively dismiss the left as crazy. You know, green news scam. They want everyone to just be, you know, free love and cementing their hands to the pavement in the name of freeing the world. But we're long past that now. There is a real danger here, not just to our republic, but also, again, for our allies, for our Jewish brothers and sisters who are now under duress at home, but also under attack from a place that used to be a place that they could depend on for solid support.
That's right. They used to be crazy. Now they are crazy and dangerous because the Islamists and the leftists are working together against Western civilization, against our freedom, against our rules. In my latest book titled Rise, I have a whole chapter about the leftist Islamist coalition, where we started seeing them working together back around 2008, 2009, right after September 11th, when we started seeing the Islamists use the left as the useful idiots in order to advance their agenda in the West. And when we know organizations like CARE, the Council on American Islamic Relations, which is basically a front for Hamas in the United States, ISNA, the Islamic Society of North America, the Muslim Student Association, the MSA, which is spread, which, by the way, has more chapters on American college campuses than the Democrats and the Republicans combined. So we started seeing all these fronts for the Muslim Brotherhood working together with the likes of the ACLU, the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, etc., demonizing people like you and me and everybody who was sounding the alarm about how the leftists and the Islamists are moving into a very dangerous zone where they are mainstreaming or naturalizing violence in the name of a cause, whatever the cause may be. And as you know, what starts with the Jews never ends with the Jews. And we are walking down a very dangerous path in our country.
Absolutely. You make it a good point. You know, we look at this rise in anti-Semitism, right? People try to sweep it under the rug. They try to act as if we don't have the stats. We do have the stats. I want to take a look at this chart as we've seen protest after protest coupled with the anti-Semitism and now ending in this shocking murder in the Capitol. I mean, I just, please help put this in perspective for our audience, because I think sometimes people think out of sight, out of mind, oh, that's terrible. But I don't think people are connecting the dots that if we've got Israeli diplomats being murdered in cold blood in the capital of our nation, supported ostensibly by organizations, even though those organizations have now disavowed the actions of this one person. At some point, the rubber band snaps. At some point, Israel decides they're on their own. At some point, you have to realize that we will be a nation alone if the people within our nation fracture every relationship we have around the globe.
That's right. And this is a very dangerous situation. Consider this. Let's say this is a Japanese diplomat who was shot in Washington, D.C. on an official visit, whatever, he's performing something. And can you imagine the destabilization between us and Japan? And how would the reaction be on CNN and all the mainstream media? They would be shocked. They would be outraged. They would say this is unacceptable. We should execute the person who perpetrated such a crime to the fullest extent of the law, whatever we have to do. It would be a totally different story. But because he is Jewish, and by the way, I know a lot of people in America say, oh, well, you know, he's a Christian really because his father is Jewish, but his mother is a Christian. You have to understand how your enemy thinks. In the eyes of your enemy, your father, in the eyes of the Islamist and the Palestinian, your father is Jewish, you are a Jewish, you are a Jew. That's why they shot him and they killed him. And so this is why they discounted completely. And because of this level of hatred, of anti-Semitism against Jews in the United States, you are seeing now the justification of murder in the name of the Palestinian cause. We're seeing the globalization of the Palestinian Intifada now weaponized against Jewish people worldwide. And right here, we are seeing it right now in our capital. This has to be stopped. I'm so glad we have Jeanine Pirro in Washington, D.C. I'm so glad we have President Trump at the helm. I'm so glad we have amazing people right now who are going to be prosecuting the case, getting to the bottom of it. I'm so glad we have Kash Patel at the FBI. We need to be able to monitor and target anybody and everybody who is active on the internet, who is posting anti-Semitic posts, urging the killing of Jews or celebrating the murder of Jews. I'm not sure if you saw it, but there are actually people celebrating the murder right now of these diplomats on the internet, which is abhorring. These people, the people who are laughing about it, represent our country, and we should not, in America, have anybody celebrating the murder of a diplomat on our soil. It's bad for our country. We as people are better than that.
Absolutely. Bizet, leave it there. Always good to see you, my friend. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.